Welcome back to the Night Show. My next guest is a man who needs absolutely no introduction to the citizens of the subterranean grid. When he was last on our stage, he left us completely spellbound describing the massive, hidden Gothic metropolis thriving directly underneath the Manhattan subway lines. Please welcome back to the desk, Silas Ramhorn. So Silas, you're 15, you've just escaped a high-ranking demon tracker, and you're wandering the deep, dark transit tracks. How exactly did you stumble onto the upper echelons of the Celestial Order? Take us back to that first night.
Good to be back, Mickey. Look, wandering those tunnels at 15 wasn't a sightseeing tour. I was looking for a place to hide, but the deeper I went, the more the tracks opened up into these massive obsidian plazas. I followed the scent of stale whiskey and burning incense straight into a hidden, mystical dive bar carved right into a cavern wall. It was packed with low-level demons and fallen entities. I was trying to blend in, which is tough when you have horns ripping through your skull, when this disheveled guy in a tattered trench coat slaps a glass of amber liquid on the counter. It was my Uncle Gabriel, the actual Archangel Gabriel, completely washed up, hiding out from the higher-ups and drinking his way through eternity. He bought me my first drink, looked me dead in the eye, and decided it was time I learned the truth about the war.
Hold on a second. The Archangel Gabriel, the literal supreme messenger of the heavens, was just sitting in an underworld dive bar, drinking amber whiskey, and hiding out from the higher-ups? That is wild. What exactly did he tell you about the layout of this war? Like, what is the cosmic blueprint? And why were both sides suddenly so obsessed with a 14-year-old kid from Queens?
Gabriel laid it out like a corporate hostile takeover, Mickey. He told me heaven, hell, and earth aren't just spiritual realms. They are real estate zones. The higher-ups in the clouds and the landlords in the pits have been fighting over the mortal grid for millennia. But a pure angel or a pure demon can't cross the dimensional borders without tearing the fabric of reality. That's where I came in. Gabriel looked at my glowing warlock runes and told me I was a hybrid anomaly, a creature born with human tissue, but forged with underworld blood alchemical code. I was the perfect universal key, a weapon designed to open the planar gates from the inside, so one side could finally claim the master lease on Earth.
Wow. So you weren't just a mutant anomaly running from cops in Queens. You were a walking, talking international border crossed between dimensions. A universal skeleton key. If the landlords in the pits got hold of your code, game over for the surface grid. What did Gabriel do next? Did he tell you to run to a church? Or did the old angel actually give you a way to fight back?
Gabriel didn't tell me to pray, Mickey. He slammed his whiskey glass down and gave me a direct choice. He said, "Kid, both sides are coming to snap your collar. You can drop to your knees and become a mindless weapon for your old man. Or you can use that hybrid willpower of yours to jam a wrench into the gears." He pulled out an ancient glowing obsidian dagger, carved a raw counterglyph right over the brickwork, and showed me how to redirect my internal plasma energy. He told me if I wanted to survive, I couldn't choose heaven or hell. I had to build a third side entirely, a rogue vanguard of outcasts who answer to nobody. And right then and there at 15, I chose the third option.
So, you pick the dagger, you refuse to pay rent to the landlord in the pits, and you decide to stay independent. Man, that takes some serious brass for a 15-year-old. But the devil doesn't just let you walk away from a contract. What happened when you made that choice? Did the Warlocks tracking network find you right there in the bar?
They didn't just find me, Mickey. They tore the doors right off the hinges. The second I swore the oath, the obsidian dagger flared, and a massive shockwave rattled the entire cavern. The rock walls started cracking open, and the shadowy border legions of the underworld breached the tavern. These weren't low-level grunts. These were heavily armored shadow knights wielding glowing spears, sent to drag my soul back to the processing grid. But Uncle Gabriel didn't flinch. He kicked over our wooden table, grabbed his flask in one hand and a celestial blade in the other, and told me to get ready for the messiest bar fight in the history of New York City.
Are you kidding me right now? A 15-year-old punk rock kid with newborn ram horns and a washed-up drinking archangel holding the line against an armored shadow brigade behind a flipped dive bar table. That is a total cinematic masterpiece. Silas, please tell me you guys actually kicked some serious ass down there. How did that fight end?
Oh, we leveled the place, Mickey. It was a beautiful disaster. Gabriel went total berserk mode. His massive white wings were batting shadow knights into the stone walls, while his celestial sword was cleaving through their energy spears like butter. And me? Adrenaline took over. I lunged right over that flip table, drove that ancient obsidian dagger straight through the lead knight's breastplate, and unleashed an absolute blinding explosion of neon orange plasma right from his core. The blast permanently shattered the warlock's original contract tracking link, blew out every lantern in the tavern, and left the entire shadow squad completely buried under a mountain of collapsed cave stone. They wanted an asset they could process. We gave them a war zone.
Unbelievable. A 15-year-old kid leveling an underworld dive bar, shattering a blood contract, and walking out alive beside a renegade archangel. Follies like that are exactly how legends are forged in the subterranean grid. Silas, you have completely blown our minds tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have for this week's broadcast. Tune in next Monday at 10 a.m. sharp because the war is just heating up. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Mickey. Look, that bar fight wasn't just about surviving a Tuesday night. It was the moment I stopped running. Gabriel and I broke through the back tunnels, and as the dust settled, we were standing right on the precipice of the grand obsidian city gates. I realized the surface world was a lie, but the underworld? The underground was an open book waiting for me to write my own rules. Next week, I'll tell you about the first time I actually walked through those city gates to claim my throne. Don't touch that dial, folks.
Everything, everywhere, it's not about you. Eyes locked on the glass till the silver starts to bleed. Plant an ego in the garden like a choking winter weed. You're a king of nothing, screaming at a wall, waiting for the heavens just to catch you when you fall. Static in the wire, yeah, you're drowning out the sound while the orbit of the planet leaves you buried in the ground. Everything, everywhere, it's not about you. The stars don't need your rhythm to move. Everything, everywhere, it's not about you. A flickering ghost with a point to prove. Break the lens, let the light through. It's not about you. The mountains don't bow and the ocean doesn't weep for the sequence and the promises you're trying hard to keep. Built a digital palace out of vanity and pride, but the universe is moving on the dark and outer side. Gravity is heartless and it doesn't know your name, just a suffocating spark inside a heavy metal flame. Everything, everywhere, it's not about you. The stars don't need your rhythm to move. Everything, everywhere, it's not about you. A flickering ghost with a point to prove. Break the lens, let the light through. about you. Flickering ghost with the point to prove. It's not about you. Not about you. Spirit Rock Band! Yeah! We've got the wigs, we've got the gear!
When the arena tour leaves town, who occupies the empty real estate of your retail centers? We do. Welcome to Spirit Rock Band Apparel, the only store that materializes overnight in a defunct Bed Bath & Beyond to fulfill your midlife crisis rock star dreams.
Spirit Rock Band!
It'd look like you've been touring since 1988, but you actually work in middle management. Check out our gimmicky garments. Pre-ripped jeans, squeaky leather, and shirts with the sweat stains already printed on them.
Spirit Rock Band!
Don't just look the part. Pretend you actually wrote the songs. Use our custom preloaded tablets to blast heavy riffs at the touch of a button. You aren't a rock star without the crowning glory. Step into the wig section. We've got the thrash metal balding mullet, the hair metal explosion, and my personal favorite, the new metal dreadlock beanie. Now made with 40% less flammable synthetic fibers. Spirit Rock Band Apparel. We're here for exactly 6 weeks, and then we will vanish into the shadows, leaving behind only the smell of cheap leather and regret. Rock on while supplies and our temporary lease last.
Spirit Rock Band! Yeah!